What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It's time for transfer talk. And listen, people, we got a couple of things to discuss. There's a couple of rumors which are like, I don't know how true they are, but we'll discuss them anyway. Going to talk about midfield, Mateo Joseph and Jack Harrison, and not just sell Jack Harrison. I want to know what you do with him ahead of the next friendly against Man United. And I'm going to get into that later on in the video, and also a little rival watch, just a little, just on a team that I feel will be dragged into a relegation battle at this point in time. We'll get into that in just a moment. But listen, as well, just want to say big up for all the support, people. It really is appreciated, and thank you for that. I know this summer hasn't gone the way that we thought it would so far in general, and just judging by your comments too, but I appreciate the love and support anyway. And listen, big up to Mr. P and Parrot House, because I've been forgetting. Thank you for the super thanks on a couple videos ago. But something that could help Leeds United is a signing of a striker / forward. But Evann Guessand has been linked with Leeds United again. Graham Bailey has put this out, I think yesterday, that Leeds United and Sunderland are both showing strong interest in Nice striker Evann Guessand. And this is something I can definitely get behind. This is a forward. I've mentioned before, doesn't matter if you play him in the left, right, central striker, he performs well in every single position. There's no weakness when it comes to him applying himself across the forward line. Now, would it be preferable to get an out-and-out striker? Maybe, but if he sees himself converting into a striker role, I would love to see it happen at Leeds United. I would love us to be the experiment where he tries that, because his eye for goal has improved so much over the last couple of years, and I think it could only get better if you centralize in one position. Now, if we're unable to get other striking targets, if Muniz is still becoming too pricey, Guessand is not a bad consolation prize at all. This is the signing that I'd want from Nice, not Jeremy Boga. It would just be the way the summer's gone, though. It would be that Sunderland get Guessand, we get Jeremy Boga. But no, we can't allow that to happen. Guessand is someone that could cost, well, the price is being quoted at around 22 million, which is why I think Sunderland are in play with this one, as we've heard. We don't know for a fact, but we've been told that they can't spend so much more on a striker. They've got a particular budget for that, and this would fit into the budget. And from what we've been spending, this would be in our budget too, 22 million. So it's one to look out for, and it's one that I would have great interest in. And even if we sign him and he becomes a winger and we still go in then for a forward, I mean, that would be even better in my opinion. But Evann Guessand is a highly, highly talented player, and he's someone that Leeds United should be in the conversation for, as I've said weeks ago as well. Someone, give me your thoughts on that one in the comments, people. But someone who, I'm going to leave this as the last video I mention his name, because it seems that this one is done and dusted now in terms of Vanja Milinković-Savić coming to Leeds United. It's not happening. He's agreed terms, according to reports in Italy. He's agreed terms with Napoli, and now he's just awaiting Napoli and Torino to agree a fee. So I'm going to take Vanja Milinković-Savić out of the running at this point in time, unless Leeds United come up and, come up with an amazing offer. But by all accounts from Italy, he wants to stay and has no preferable desire to come to Leeds United at this point. So I'm going to put this one down as one that we haven't got done, and we move on to other goalkeepers. We're still in for Liverovic, apparently. That one is still in the works. So if we can get him, I would not be upset. As everyone knows, this was my first choice goalkeeper, and there's probably still others on the pipeline too. So we just have to, again, it's another one we have to wait and see where we go. But Vanja Milinković-Savić, I'm ruling out. This was one of the loosey reports I was talking about. I call it a loosey because it's just, the link is just so loose. But Joe Willock, another Newcastle midfielder that's seemingly on the outs. Leeds United have apparently inquired about him. Here we are, Inquiry FC. And we're interested in Joe Willock, who is valued at around 25 million. This is from Transfer Market. This is from the reported the reports that he could be, valued around 25 million, but I don't know if Newcastle are going to go for that. He's another one, though, that needs a fresh start elsewhere. And again, Joe Willock, I mentioned him, oh God, was it a month ago now? I would easily take him in a deal, because if he's in a role where he's an out-and-out starter, he will flourish. I mentioned it as well with like Jacob Ramsey, but he seems to be destined for Tottenham, so that's going to be out of the question. He's not going to reject Tottenham and Thomas Frank to come here. But Joe Willock could be an avenue to get him first-team football, and this could be the club to do it at. And he is someone not only with the eye for goal, but he does all that other work as well. He does all the running stuff and everything else like that, and he's got a really good pass on him as well. So Joe Willock is someone that I would take. if a deal could be done. But again, looking at the pricing, it might be a bit too pricey for us at this stage. We don't know, but they may say that Joe Willock is worth the whatever Newcastle think he's valued at, in preference to Longstaff, where they think he's worth so much, but Newcastle think he's worth, a little bit more. But yeah, Joe Willock, I don't know how true this rumor is, so we're going to leave it where it is. But I'm just saying, if Joe Willock was to come, I would not have any objections to it. Gus Hamer, it's gone very, very quiet with this one. PSV are currently, very, very highly interested in Gus, but apparently still, according to reports, the latest reports is that his preference is still the Premier League. So I don't know what the delay is on this one. This one seems to be the easiest deal that we could do. I thought, apart from the Man of Solomon one early in the year where he's already been here, this is probably the second easiest deal that we could get done, with a club. But I don't know if we're going to be going in for him, but that number 8/10 role does need, rejuvenating. Hearing conflicting reports about Brendan Aronson, he wants to stay and fight. Reports are saying that he's going to be on the outs here. I don't think he's going to be on the outs. I got to say, I think with Danny Farker still here, I think Brendan Aronson has very much got a future at the football club, but he can't be here alone. We need somebody else in there, and whether that's Willock, Hamer, or other, we shall see. But yeah, we shall see. There I go. I said it again. But yeah, Gus Hamer, that's the latest on him. Mateo Joseph is still looking for a way out. On Bettis, though, it seems that Bettis already in one more offer for Joseph, and then that could be it. It's reported that we're looking for around a 10 million deal, whereas we know Bettis, bid 6.8 or something like that. But yeah, it seems that Mateo Joseph, Bettis are going to try one more time. They do see him as a top target, but there's a little bit of a complication with the current player they've already got there, which is holding this up in terms of getting him out. But yeah, Mateo Joseph is looking for a way out, and just with what we've been, linked with and everything else, I don't see him having a future at the football club at this point in time. But yeah, we got to see, because we need outgoings, man. We need outgoings, and it hasn't moved quick enough, in my opinion, in terms of getting players out. So we'll keep an eye on the Joseph one, but Bettis already in one more offer, according to reports. Now, Jack Harrison, just quickly on this one, we know that his future is seemingly away from the football club. But what I wanted to ask you guys is what you would do with him in advance of the Man United game. Would you take him with you in the squad in order to get him out there, show that he's fit and ready to play? Or would you do the thing that is being reported, that he could be held off the plane and not going? Now, I do like that option, because that means it's being more cutthroat in saying, you're not coming, you're not a part of the plans. Cool. There is the other side of it, though, where you can take him with you, put him in the shop window and see what he's about. But my thing with that one, and the thing that is just the main thing that overrides everything, is that if he performs well against Man United, it's going to give Farker an excuse. It's going to give the fans an excuse. It's going to give the 49ers an excuse to say, we're going to reintegrate him back into the squad. I don't trust this football club in the way that I see other clubs use the preseason friendlies, where they put people in the shop window and jump on that. I feel like we play him, he does well, and then all of a sudden there's a way back in for him. So I'm leaning towards the option of leaving him off the plane, letting it know that other clubs are free and ready to come and get him, as long as they meet an acceptable fee or just cover his wages on loan, because that seems to be a stumbling block at this point. But yeah, I'm leaning towards more that. But what say you? Would you put him in the shop window and take that risk against Man United, saying that he performs well, and saying that he can go for a higher fee maybe if he performs well? Or do you also worry about the fact that if he performs well, Danny Farker is going to say, we're reintegrating back into the team? Very interested to hear your thoughts on that one. Let me know in the comments. And finally, on Rival Watch, Brentford. This isn't anything that they're bidding for, but this is from Fabrizio Romano. Brentford are showing initial interest in Amari Hutchinson as a possible replacement for Brian Mbeumo in case of exit with Man United on it. Brentford appreciate Hutchinson, but no club-to-club talks yet with Ipswich Town. Let me just say, the more that you get from Brentford, in addition to what I talked about yesterday, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it in one of the top two corners, they feel like they could be dragged into a relegation fight. I'm sorry, but replacing Mbeumo and even thinking about Amari Hutchinson is one hell of a downgrade. They've already done it with Norgard out, Henderson in, Flecken out, an unknown Kelleher in, Thomas Frank out, and Keith Andrews in. There's just too many downgrades for me to not think that Brentford should be fighting in the Premier League next season. And if this is to happen, we need to raise our levels up in order to make it an even better fight. Yeah, we need to make it an even better fight. So hopefully our recruitment will step up and help us in that way. But Brentford at this point in time, I am looking at one of the potential fighters for relegation in the Premier League. So there we are with Rival Watch. That is it for the video, people. I hope you've enjoyed it. Listen, it's very warm. The fans on there. So if I've left out any details, forgive me. Like the video before you go. It's free to do and it helps out the channel immensely. Big up to all members of the channel. Thank you for the support. And if you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description. Peace out, people. Enjoy the rest of your day.